Hello there friends, today we are going to discuss about domains. But first let's have a review on our previous lesson. In our previous lesson we talked about classification. We said that putting living organisms in different groups according to their similarities and differences were classification, and we have to organize living organisms, otherwise we would not become able to even talk about them specifically. And also we talked about hierarchy of classification. We say that there is a 7 chief or 7 unit system, starting with the domain, which is the broadest one, might include one or more kingdoms in it. And in domain we can compare all features of living organisms, like their type of cell, their nutrition, respiration, reproduction, excretion, sensitivity, growth, and every feature of a living organism can be compared in domain. And according to their different features, we can divide them into different groups, and by eliminating one feature we can reach to the kingdom. By eliminating another feature we can reach to the phylum. Eliminating another feature we can reach to the class, and so on. We can reach to the most specific one. So again, I'm repeating that domain is the broadest one, containing one or more kingdom, and species is the most specific one. So this was our previous lesson. In our new lesson we're going to talk about old versus new classification, how they used to classify living organisms and how they are classifying right now. According to the new classification, we're going to discuss 3 domains, which include archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Be with me till the end of the lesson and get information about 3 domains. So, according to the old classification, they divided living organisms to the 5 kingdoms that we are going to discuss about each of them. So the first kingdom was Kingdom Monera. Their creatures were unicellular and their type of cell was like prokaryotic cell. It means they had primitive cell without any nucleus and other organelles around, so they were unicellular and prokaryotics, and their examples were archaea and bacteria. The second kingdom, Kingdom Protista, they had eukaryotic cell, and they mostly they were like unicellular, but sometimes they could live as multicellular as well. About next kingdom, which is Kingdom Plant, we can say they have eukaryotic cells. They're always multicellular and they are autotrophs. Means with the help of sunlight and some minerals they can produce food for themselves. Next kingdom, Kingdom Fungi, like mold, bread mold, or mushrooms, the examples of that kingdom. And they are always multicellular organisms. Their cell type is eukaryotic and they are saprophytes. Next kingdom, Kingdom Animal. We are familiar with this kingdom. Living organisms in this kingdom got eukaryotic cells, and they are always multicellular and they are heterotrophs. Means they cannot produce food for themselves, they have to obtain it from other organisms. So we said according to the old classification there were 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Plant, Fungi, and Animalia. And only Kingdom Monera, with 2 creatures inside of it, like archaea and bacteria, had prokaryotic cell. The rest got eukaryotic cell. In new classification we have 3 domains and 6 kingdoms. If you remember about domains, we said that domain is the broadest part or unit of hierarchy, and it may contain 1 or more kingdoms in it. According to the new classification there are 3 domains, like archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Domain archaea contain 1 kingdom, which is Archaebacteria. Domain bacteria contain 1 kingdom, which is Eubacteria. Domain eukarya contains 4 kingdoms, which are Protista, Planta, Fungi, and Animalia. So, I want to continue my lesson with describing domain archaea. So, domain archaea with one kingdom, which is archaebacteria, can be found in harsh environments. On that type of environment that we cannot find another living organism in it. For example, they can live on that places that bacteria cannot live on it, or eukaryotes cannot live on it. For example, savages, volcanic vents, or so much salty water. Other living organisms cannot live on that places. And their cell type is prokaryotic and they are always unicellular. About second domain bacteria, we can say that they are containing only one kingdom, which is eubacteria, and this is the real bacteria that we are familiar with it. They can be useful or pathogenic. They can cause different illnesses. We can find them everywhere, even inside human body, inside our mouth, inside our intestine, on our hand, for example. I mean, in every place except harsh places, except this environment, we can find bacteria. For example, in soil, inside water, on the rock, and inside Arctic snows, we can find eubacteria. Their cell type is prokaryotic and they're also unicellular. About third domain eukarya, we can say that they contain four kingdoms like Protista, Plantia, Fungi, and Animalia. So, about their specific living places, Protists can live inside the water or on moist places. Plantia can live on soil and sometimes inside water. Fungi also live in moist places, and Animalia can live everywhere except harsh ones. So mutually, they can live inside water, on soil or inside soil, and also in air. And as we know, these organisms like Protista, plant, fungi, and Animalia, they are always multicellular organisms. Their cell type is eukaryotic cell, and also they are their nutrition are different. They can be autotroph, heterotroph, and sometimes saprophytic. So this was all about domains. Thanks for being with me till the end of the lesson. I hope you learned and enjoyed.